Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? Today's been a quite eventful day, and I'm keeping track of everything. Now, I want people to understand a few things that have been going on. I'm recording from Erie, Canada. That's right. I have come across the border and asked Canada to protect me as a refugee, because if you follow my videos and you followed my story since my video channel has started, from the kidnapping and death of my girlfriend, the death of my cousin Michael Jackson, the death of my father, the kidnapping of Laurel Aston, the kidnapping of me also in Mexico, and how I documented all of that, because Laurel was a ex-CIA human trafficking victim from the age of 2 years old, and at one time and point was the CIA's top assassin. So I want you to understand one thing. If she was the CIA's top assassin, which she is the girl from Kill Bill. She was actually 15 years old when that took place, because if you don't know about CIA assassins, they take children and rape them to administer mind control. Now, they do this habitually. Now, I want you to understand one thing about Freemasons and what they do to kids. They rape kids, they kidnap kids, they instate mind control into children by raping them. Now, if you don't know how mind control really works, I'm going to explain it to you again. And I'm going to take my time to really explain it to you so you people can really understand how sick Freemasons are, what they're all about, why they operate in the CIA, NSA, the military, MI5, MI666. All of their stuff is based upon mind control. How do you get a mind control assassin? This is how you get a mind control assassin. What they did to Laurel Aston. They took a young girl that was bred by possibly genetically two good races, which, if you want to get two good warrior races together, try me and a Japanese woman having a child, because I'm descendant of a Blackfoot Olmec and the Japanese have ninjas, and I'm also descendant of the original Black Chinese pre-Ming dynasty. Being a warrior is in my blood. The CIA and NSA stalk people like this. They are habitual DNA pirates, and they start with children, point blank. Now, when they take a kid, most of the children die through all the torture that they administer to the child, and if they don't die through all the rape, torture, sodomy, trying to put in mind control, the debauchery that they put children through, if they make it through, their mind is shattered. Their mind is shattered into fragmented parts, because when the mind is put in a place of torture and abuse, the mind shuts down. Your soul somewhat leaves the body because it can't handle the pain. This is a natural effect. When you pass out, if you break a bone, it's basically the same equivalent. Now, I want you to understand how the CIA administers mind control. When they rape a child, it shatters the child's mind, and then that child's soul leaves the body, and then they bring in a demon to control that child once that child is awake. This is how the CIA, NSA, MI5, MI666 administer mind control and create mind control assassins from children. So they can have full-blown psychotic assassins by the time they're 15 years old. And put them on growth hormones, they look 20, 25, but they're 15. I learned these things from Laurel Aston. This is why the American government wants me dead. This is why the American government kidnapped her, and she's in Mexico right now, living in a dirt shack with no money, and they want her to just die from heat exhaustion and malnutrition. Because Hillary Clinton raped her as a child. Because Bill Clinton raped her as a child. Because the Windsors raped her as a child. Because she was the top assassin, and what they do is they take these children and trade them around and administer mind control. When you become a top assassin, only the top members of the upper echelon have control to administer the codes, to administer the mind control into their top assassins. They do it sexually. They do it through torture. They do it through abuse. They do it through debauchery, sodomy. Laurel Aston went through all these things and lived through it. And she lived to talk about it. Just like I'm in Canada right now, living to talk about it. And Laurel, I know you're not going to hear this because you don't have a way to hear it, but I told you we should have come to Canada. You wanted to go to Mexico. Ladies, if I'm trying to help a woman and I do my best to try to help her, but if she doesn't want to listen and I do what she thinks is best, and even if I know it wasn't best. So I went to Mexico because she wanted to go to Mexico. She was convinced she had people and family there that would help her. So what they did in Mexico is they stole all my property, all my paperwork, all her property, all her paperwork, put me in jail for 3 months. And then when she said she wouldn't fly back to the United States, they said, okay, well, we need to have a psychological evaluation for her to make sure that she can't fly. So they threw me and her for a month and a half in a fucking Mexican mental ward. You can't imagine the shit I went through and lived through and lived to talk about it. So remind you, I am 50 steps from a goddamn Freemason shrine that takes orders from the Queen of England, the Rothschilds, Obama, the Clintons, the syndicate. Because the syndicate kidnaps kids. The syndicate cuts out children's organs and trades them or eats them and cooks them. That's what they do. They get the Mexican cartel to do their dirty work. The Gulf Cartel. Hillary Clinton runs the Gulf Cartel. She's a pure criminal. Rapist, child rapist, Freemason. So I want you to understand, I know they can hear me. I want them to hear me. I want these Freemasons right across the street from my house have a microwave weapon pointed at my room last night to try to give me a heart attack. And I wake up again and my heart is just like throbbing because they have a microwave weapon aimed at me because the fucking Queen of England rapes children. Her and her whole goddamn family. Obama rapes children. Hillary Clinton rapes children. Freemasons rape children. It's what they do, blood in, blood out, right? They take a blood oath to never divulge these secrets to anyone. And if you do, they'll cut out your tongue and stick it on the highest mountain somewhere and then disembowel you and blood in, blood out, right, Freemasons? This is what they are. This is what they all are. Aleister Crowley killed over 100 kids in 1 year. Started the Blue Lodge of the UK. which is run by Evelyn Rothschild. Evelyn Rothschild is the Queen's financial advisor. They all rape and kill kids. And right next door to the Freemason shrine, there's 50 steps away from me, there's the Canadian Military Cadet office. Yeah, it's pretty shocking, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't believe it. This is Canada. This is why Toronto is a cesspool of fucking debauchery. It's like there are no religious people here that can stand up and say, I'm not going to go for this. I want to protect my kids from this. This is Canada. Anything goes, right? It's sick. I didn't know it was this sick. And then they just approve bestiality? So now any witch, Freemason witch, from around the world can come to Canada and say, yeah, I have sex with animals, and my country won't let me have sex with animals. Will you protect me? Huh. It's pretty shocking, huh? Well, here's something more shocking. Witches, Freemasons, having sex with animals is what they do. It is called gaining power over nature. These sick, twisted demons have sex with animals. And they believe it gives them power over Mother Earth, our home that God gave to us. So a sick, twisted Freemason individual can have sex with an animal and then feel empowered that he's so powerful he has power over Earth. And the Canadian judges, who are obviously Freemasons, and probably some of them have sex with animals too, they believe this. They always have believed this. This is a very old practice of Wicca. It's sick. And they don't want anybody to talk about it. They want to walk around, be able to drive their car up to their Freemason Lodge. I got money. I'm protected by the Queen and the CIA and MI5 and MI6, and I got the Canadian military cadets right next door. So I can do anything. I can even take your kids. That's how protected they believe they are. Yeah, it's pretty sick, but it's the truth. And they don't like me. They hate me because I have the ability to make good people see the truth, to wake up and say, hey, stay the fuck away from them. Don't shake their hands. Don't look at them like they're a person. They kill kids and babies. And on that Freemason sect, it says they've been around since 1933. That's 50 steps away from me, where I'm recording this. So I've done videos, tried to wake Canadians up, trying to protect their kids for them, told the Freemasons to take the microwave weapon out the place and quit aiming it at this house because I'm not the only one living here, but they don't care. They're sworn to Satan. They must do his bidding. Point blank, blood in, blood out. Ain't that right, Freemasons? Sworn to Satan and Lucifer, the loser. So this is what I do. You know, I don't have anything. I don't have money. I don't have a life. I spend my time trying to fight chemtrails with my inventions that I had to invent to stay alive. Because the American government And I guess along with the Canadian government, which is allowing them to, are spraying chemtrails on Erie every freaking day. So then the Freemasons have to have a microwave weapon pointed directly at me because it's nano black matter, programmable black matter. So they have to have a microwave pointed at me so when the chemtrails come down, they get the program to attack me and to go into my body and to form what a Freemason calls a fibrillator. A fibrillator is a black goo matter programmable part. Once it's in my system, it attacks my heart. It attacks my breathing. It connects to my spine and the spinal parts that control the breathing. Then it connects to my nostrils and then starts to clog up my nostrils so it'll look like I died naturally if I die. This is what they do. Soft killing. This is what chemtrails is about. It's not about the U.S. missile defense. What U.S. are you afraid somebody's gonna shoot a fucking missile at you and end you? Nobody has shot a missile at the United States for over 30 years since they've been chemtrailing, huh? And then when Star Wars went online, and chemtrails became part of DEFCON. Oh, we got us sprayed, DEFCON 1. We got a possible terror threat. Yeah, you do. They're called Freemasons. Sworn to Satan that kill and rape kids and innocent women. But they won't do anything about him. The Canadian authorities won't do anything about him. The Canadian cops won't do anything about him. Because they're outstanding members of the community. No, they're psychotic serial killers that have not gotten caught doing what they do best. Evading the truth of what they do. They're murderers. Rapists. And here in Canada, you know, they don't kill people. So it's kind of a great place for a Freemason to be, right? Heavily trained serial killer stalker organization. Sworn to Satan and Lucifer. And they are trained to kill kids and to get away with it. And then act like they're pillars of the community. This is Freemasonry. How do I know so much about it? Well, my uncle hates me. He's a piece of shit. He raped my cousin. Tried to rape his other daughter when he was drunk. I had my words with him after my dad died. You know? And he could see it in my eyes how much I hated him. And as I looked at my cousin and wondered, how can you sit here around me? I have another aunt that's a Freemason. She slept with him, had a relationship with him. My aunt. Fucking sick Freemasons. This is my family. So then my family is friends with other Freemasons. They're just as sick as them. And when they get around each other, they know all of how sick they are. And then hope people don't find out. And look at them like they're a fucking demon instead of a pillar of the community. So then let's get into the Jacksons. Robert Jackson, my stepfather, grew up with Marvin Gaye. Introduced Joe Jackson to Motown because he was singing with Motown before Michael could walk. Robert Jackson, Marvin Gaye's background singer. My other father, a good man. Taught me a lot. But unfortunately, Joe raped Michael. That's right. Joe Jackson raped Michael Jackson. Because he's a Freemason pedophile piece of shit. Then LaToya tried to come out and talk about how her family are a bunch of sick fucking Freemasons, and guess what they did to LaToya, huh? Does anybody remember the LaToya Playboy split, huh? Did you know when LaToya was forced to do that Playboy split, why she did it? Because they had her living in a motel, turning tricks for money. And she got on her feet after posing for fucking Playboy, which is run by Hugh Hefner, who's also a Freemason. Playboy is one of the biggest, beautiful woman from around the world, Playboy everywhere. Oh, what happens to the Playboy bunnies, Hugh? Huh? Playboy is the biggest disappeared beautiful women into human trafficking organizations. From Romania to Russia to America to Canada. They're all over the world. In Mexico, the Playboy Casino, Mexicans can't even go into the Playboy Casino in Mexico. Why? Because they might see their sisters, cousins, daughters turning tricks. And they might have a problem with, these rich Europeans, Americans, Canadians coming to Playboy Mansion to pimp out their family members. So only the rich of the rich Freemason Mexicans are allowed in Playboy casinos in Mexico. This is Freemasonry. Hugh Hefner, Freemason, related to Bush. Bush has a ranch next to Vidor, Texas. Vidor, Texas is an RKKK town. Racist freaking Nazis. Rapists. Child murderers. Always have been, always will be. I grew up an hour away from Vidor in Houston. This is Masonry. They practice black magic, evil magic, draining the soul of a child. Why? Because they believe it can prolong their life. Why did Joe rape Michael? Because he wanted to possess his soul. That's what they do. This is my family. And Sony, the US government, the Queen of England that owns the CIA by a charter, the Queen of England that owns NSA, DOC, NASA by a charter, owns it. Uses these companies to protect what I'm telling you. Uses these spy assassin organizations to kill anybody that causes any kind of threat to her wicked debauchery family, full of Satanists that are sworn under other Satanists under Masonic sects and lodges placed around the world. Blood in, blood out, right? Masons? So my court date is on the 29th to go in front of your judges, Canada, to judge me to see if I'm a liable, plausible refugee? If my country wants to kill me? That's quite astonishing to me, considering the lack of untruth that I tell. I even had a problem with the so-called Jewish lawyer at Matthew House, I'm gonna let it all out, okay? So not only did the Canadian authorities move me 50 steps from a Masonic sect, the lawyer at Matthew House, Lisa, that's supposedly a Jew. I'm a Hebrew, not a Jew. I'm a Hebrew. So I had a Jew tell me, after asking me my full name because she needed to write it down on her paper because she's a lawyer. This is what she did to me. This is how deep this Freemason shit goes. I told her my full name, and then when I get to my middle name, I said Zacharias, and she perked up. She said, Zacharias, huh? Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I see the nose. I recognize your little, accent. I know you're a Jew. Then she perks up and says, Zacharias, and she's thinking, why do you have a Jew name? You're black. This is what she's thinking. I know it. So then I say, yeah, it's Zacharias. It's spelled Zaccheus. And she's like, no, that's not Zacharias. You're spelling it wrong. And I'm like, what? That's my middle name from the Bible. My father, my mother gave me that name. They sang biblical songs about Zacharias. This is what's going on in my head. And she tells me that I'm spelling it wrong? Huh. And so she just writes my first and last name. Wonder why she did that. So then she tells me to get my papers together and how to do it and to write my statement. So I wrote it about how my father worked for Amway as the top salesman. Amway was taken over by the CIA. My father exposed Amway is an environmental terrorist company, and it's a CIA subsidiary company, but he didn't know that at the time. I had to study to find that out. So what Amway does is they claim to make environmentally friendly products. They don't. In order to make an environmentally friendly product, you must take the toxic waste out of whatever you're trying to create. My father started Texas Oil Waste and Chemicals. After he was the top salesman at Amway, when they first started in Houston. So with his Amway military governmental buddies, he said, hey, Tom, we got a good job for you. Why don't you start an environmental waste disposal company, and you can get a contract at the city base in San Antonio, and it's a multi-million-dollar contract. Sound good? And my father did just that. But lo and behold, did he not know that that base in San Antonio, that was the base where the Nazis were relocated from Germany into the United States and given new names and new everything, and they even have a German subdivision which is filled with all Nazi war criminal pedophile witches that live right outside the San Antonio base that perfected microwave weapons. That's what the Canadian Freemasons have in this sect that's 50 feet away from me. That's right. Microwave weapons. It was patented from the San Antonio city base from the relocated Nazis under the CIA's Operation Paperclip. So my father was disposing of their waste. So in a nutshell, I wrote about this, and Lisa, the lawyer at Matthew House, tells me I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist if I go in front of the judges and say this? Really? She said, how can you prove this? I said, there's plenty of documentation about it. Did you get to the part where I put the history of Amway? Did you get to the part where I put all the governmental patents? Where it says, please add any other information you would like to know that's pertinent to your case? Did you get to the end of that, Lisa? Huh? And she said, no, I didn't. So, I guess that was the end of it. And she tells me, okay, do this. And then she turns around and goes and tells John of Matthew House that she doesn't want to represent me. Huh. And this was a week and a half after she told me she would. She wasted my time. So I just sent my papers in today because I have to represent myself. Because the Canadian authorities gave me a date where a majority of the lawyers are on vacation. Huh. Go figure. Another coincidence, right, Freemasons? So, hey Freemasons, across the street, you got about 10 days with that microwave weapon in your lodge to try to kill me. Good luck. So I'd like to end it with this. I have a nice little thing I'd like to read about the Obama administration that just faked the faggot shooting in Florida. So we can have some sympathy for you faggots. Huh. This has been the biggest year for faggots, period. They've had so many laws passed because of their faggot Obama. It's insane. The Senate gave faggots the right to take children and gave them the same rights as a heterosexual couple that really have kids. So, this is the Barack Obama, all the president's men, according to 2011. These are all the people that are under Barack Obama, and this is how he was able to take over the Senate and pass all the laws for the faggots. And then do the fake shooting in Florida to pass gun control laws and to make people have some sympathy for some undead faggots that really didn't die. So here's the list. National Lawyers Guide, the CCR, Institute for Policy Studies, Shadow Party, Robert Bosaraj, Campaign and Institute for America's Future, Hillary Clinton at the time in 2011, Secretary of State, Arizona lawsuit, vote fraud acorn, trying terrorists as civilians, Black Panther pardons, race-based prosecutions, open borders, beanbag bullets, gross negligence, Janet Napolitano, terrorist pardons, John Holdren, science czar, Door Science, global warning fanatic, forced sterilization. That goes along with the chemtrail forced vaccination under Obama, and GMO Protection Act that he passed after this. Kevin Jennings, safe school czar. Yeah, right. Like they care about kids, huh? Radical homosexual founder, Glenson Nebula advocate. What's Nebula? The pedophiles that want to make pedophilia legal, which in the UN, since 2011, they started a law that they mandated and passed teaching kids, 9 years old, how to masturbate? That's Nabila advocates. Pedophile men under Obama. Animals have equal legal rights. Do they? Not in Canada. Net neutrality, fairness doctrine. Acorn. Unions arm. Apollo Alliance. Apollo Alliance is Satan. Why did I say Satan? Because Apollyon is the real name for Lucifer, who's sworn under Satan. That's why you have Apollo this, Apollo that. Apollyon is the real name for loser Lucifer, in case you don't know. Trips to Cuba. Socialist Intel. Carol Browner, Energy Czar. Cass Sustain, Regulatory Czar. Midwest Academy. Democratic Socialist of America. John Podesta, CEO, Central for America Progress. Arya Niyar, SDS founder. Free Press. Journalist. Chicago politicians. John Podesta, CEO for America Progress. Valerie Jarrett, Senior Advisor. David Axelrod, 2012 campaign. Chicago politics. George Soros, who's one evil motherfucker who's dumping all kinds of money into Masonry, Satanism. Media Matters. Open Society Institute. SDS. Weatherman Ayers. Durham. Jeff Jones. Todd Gitlin. These are all Obama's men, faggots. If you want to know who are the terrorists, here you go. Obama, with weather weapons. Him and these organization of men put New York underwater after his second campaign. Why? Because the American Senate, which Obama has replaced and killed members of, the original Senate agreed to hear about Obama isn't an American citizen. His birth certificate is fake. The woman, Hawaiian woman, that said Obama's birth certificate is okay, is good. After the Senate agreed to hear Obama's, he's just corrupt. And the birth certificate is really fake. The lady that said it's okay, she died in a airplane crash. Convenient, huh? Freemasons. NSA, CIA, MI5, MI666, hit. Point blank. So, monster storm, underwater. Senate agrees to hear complaints about Obama being a pure criminal. He's not legit to hold office or to sign anything into mandate. So, psychological warfare in place. Vote for Obama. Nothing about the Senate on TV. Nothing about the murder of the woman who said Obama's birth certificate was legit. She's dead. And then Obama's first act. And the first thing he says after he's reelected: how can I run the Senate without the Senate? To his Muslim Brotherhood. And that's exactly what he did. And then passed a law to give innocent American kids to faggots. This is the terrorist organization in the White House. So, welcome to the truth. This is what has been done to me. They tried to soft kill me and kill me again last night. I survived it because I build machines to save lives, and not just my own. So this is the truth. They don't like the truth. Why? Because it's the truth. They're demons. They kill kids. You know, they don't want me going in front of the Freemason shrine and saying, hey guys, can you stop killing kids? The fact of the matter is they can't. They're habitual Satanist killers. Once you get addicted to killing kids and women, you don't stop till you're dead. But they don't want you to know that. They want you to think they're a great guy. They should run a country. They should make your laws, and you should listen to them. They're Freemasons, right? Sworn to Satan and loser Lucifer. Thank you for your time. I am Zakaos. Please visit my website, Dismantle the Central Intelligence Agency on Facebook. There's 2. Please read the articles that I post. I try to do my best to educate uneducated people, because you never know what education can do. Like at this moment, somebody hears me, has a friend that's a Freemason, and oh, you were gonna leave your kids with them for the weekend? And they don't. They don't have anything to do with these people. And then boom, child saved. It's as simple as this, people. I don't get paid to do this. What I do get is soft killed by a bunch of cowards that are too cowardly to put a bullet in me, to come up to me and try to fight me, try to cut my throat like they've done so many kids, babies, and then drank their blood. You can't do that to a real man. They're cowards. What do you say about an individual that kills kids? Huh? How can you look at him? How can you look at an individual that rapes children and let them still operate amongst you and your kids? But they are 50 steps away from me. This is Canada, America, the UK. And I do this so a good person will know. And will look at them like the demon that they are, and not have anything to do with them, and to save them and their children. The next day is not promised for me or you. Do what you can do. Say what you can say. Learn what you can learn. Learn the truth and understand how they operate and how they have mind control assassins that they raped as children, that will do all kinds of shit around you, and at a push of a button, they will make that person forget it. Freemasons, hold your heads up high now, huh? Sworn to your loser Lucifer. Yesterday was Father's Day. I had to sit and listen to a fucking faggot play faggot music outside my house. I fucking hate Erasure. I hate Queen. I hate New World Order. I hate your music, faggots. I was raised to hate sodomites. My father was a preacher, and I'm proud of him. Rest in peace, Father. Rest in peace, fathers. Good men. good men that they killed because what? We wanted a wife, a good life, a kid. Didn't want to have anything to do with Satanists. Huh. I am Zakaos. This is how it is. Thank you for your time and overstanding. Please visit my website, Dismantle the Central Intelligence Agency, on Facebook. There's 2. Have a good day. Stay educated. Oh, and by the way, I took pictures of the 2 Freemason cars that are parked behind the lodge with the red door. It's 50 steps away from me. Those cars are still there. I posted pictures of those cars on the French Foreign Legion's page. I did freelance work for them in Paris after they killed the woman that I love. The Paracelsus Group, Nikagaru, the worst fucking gypsy terrorists in the world. The Gatas work with the Mexican cartel, smuggling women and kids worldwide. The Gatas own fashion TV. They're models. They're Romanian models. No, they're sex slaves for Nikagaru and fashion TV. Don't say a thing. Just turn on TV and see how pretty she is. But if you're a Freemason, you can buy her. Yeah, I exposed this in Romania because of what they did to my woman. Rest in peace, baby. I don't give a fuck about them. None of them. When they took my love, it was a nurse. And a woman that wanted to have my child. Any man, real man, will understand. When you do this to a real man, you don't care if you live or die. It's us or them, and that's it. And I will do anything to take them down. And if they come at me and want to get violent because I expose them with a video camera, so then they go and try to aim a microwave weapon at me when I get in their face because they killed my fiance. And then they use other Freemasons that don't know what they stepped into because they're not going to tell them this. But this is the truth. So, Freemasons, your lodge, your members, your number is known all over the world because of me now. I'm ready to die. Are you? I am Zakaos. Save the children, and most of all, save the women. Because if you don't save them, there are no children. The war in heaven, the oldest war amongst us, was over women. Women, wake up, ladies. The war in heaven was over you, and it still is. Know what they do. Peace.
Over here, put that gas pump back. You're gonna blow us all up.
Can I give you some advice?
Please.
Good communication skills are the key to any relationship. Those are words to live by. I mean, Tony and I, we say it like we really feel.
Hey! Who's this guy? I feel jealous.
I will cut you in the face if you make a problem. the issue?
I definitely didn't say what I really meant tonight.
Could I suggest something? Maybe a bottle of wine and then an apology.
Not my beer.
Get your asses in the car or Jesus doesn't love you. Jesus doesn't love you.